I am very saddened by the passing of our ex-Prime Minister Owen Arthur, who eventually became a friend of mine, and I had great respect for him. I remember meeting him first when we were trying to get permission to build Port St. Charles, and he eventually decided he would lock us all in the cabinet room with all the government bureaucrats, and he announced at that meeting that he was leaving the room and locking the door, and we would either come to a decision on whether the project was going to be approved, or we would decide otherwise. But there was going to be no more wasting of time. Now that project proved to me that Mr. Owen Arthur was a visionary. Port St. Charles brought over $350 million US into Barbados in direct investments. It ended up building out 156 luxury homes there, most of them owned by expatriates who bring, we estimate, about $18 million a year spent by all the residents at Port St. Charles in the economy of Barbados up to now, every year. That includes property tax and money spent in all sorts of other things: restaurants, taxis, rental cars, all those things in Barbados. In addition to that, Port St. Charles has been the only place that boats from all sectors of the marine community are welcomed to spend safe harbor in times when hurricanes are approaching Barbados or bad weather. It is really, and without Owen Arthur, I can honestly tell you that it would never have happened. He pushed it. He stood behind it. He took the criticism of the do-nothingers in our society, who were hell-bent on blocking it and stopping it from happening. They even wrote to National Geographic to try to persuade them to produce an article criticizing Port St. Charles. And Owen Arthur took licks from all kinds of political foes for pushing the project, and he never asked for anything in return, nothing. I've heard people say that Owen Arthur did this and did that. The most vivid thing I remember about him was that one time I wrote him a letter criticizing some of the things that he was allowing to happen. And he tracked me down to Miami, where I was then using my brother's phone. And he'd put a cursing on me like you could not believe. Eventually I had to shout and say, "Prime Minister, if you would just stop cursing me, I would be able to respond." And he said, "Kiss my ass, man." When I returned to Barbados, he somehow found out, and he invited me to breakfast at Harcourt. Owen, since he lost the election, and he was nobody worried about Owen anymore, I often had occasion to go to his home in search of knowledge. he would be able to explain economic stuff. And anybody who ever visited him would remember the tremendous library, the amount of information that is in his library at his home should be preserved and kept in the archives of Barbados. May he rest in peace.